Siemanko everyone, welcome back to another vlog. I'm Andor and today we are in the beautiful historic city of Krakow. Now Krakow is the tourist center of Poland, that's why there's so many vlogs already about the city. So I don't know really where to start, and that is why I've decided to just go for a walk, take you along with me. I have media duties to do at the Krakow Stadium that's behind the Wawel Castle. So for this vlog we're just going to walk through Kazimierz towards Wawel Castle. And we start here at the train station Kraków Grzegórzki. Because it looks like nothing, but it's actually one of the oldest railway bridges in the world, built in 1863. Actually there was a branch of the river Vistula here that was dividing the Kazimierz district from the city of Kraków. Actually back then Kazimierz was its own city. It only joined Kraków in 1800. But if you leave the train station, you can see already here is the famous flea market of Hala, Targowa. And you can find literally everything here. But besides the flea market is more famous about the sausage stand that's here every night at 7 o'clock. The little blue van. I never tried it myself because I'm never around these parts of the city during those times. But yeah, let's start walking. So now we're going to the left from the exit of the train station. As mentioned before, there used to be a branch of the Vistula River dividing Kazimierz from Kraków. Nowadays it's Jozefa Street with all the buses and trams. So we're gonna take a turn left here at the Zapiekanki, go into the Kazimierz district, and then we basically walk down this road until here, till the bus stop, and then we turn into. Because this is Szeroka Street, this is where the Jewish district starts. Where most people come for. Now, spoiler alert, I'm not Jewish, so if you're interested into Jewish history and how life was back then, get a guide. I think one of them is already busy there. Over there's the Jewish cemetery, and in the back there's the Old Synagogue, but there's some other synagogues also around that I think are still in use, as mentioned. I'm not an expert on this stuff. But on this square there's a lot of Jewish inspired restaurants, so you can try Jewish food. I myself interested in the matzo balls, but not today. The only fact I can give you is that Steven Spielberg shot a lot of Schindler's List here, because the area is untouched, or looks untouched at least. Anyway, we're continuing our walk towards the Old Synagogue. So I have to admit something. I'm living now close to 14 years in Poland, and whenever I come to Krakow, I do not come for Polish food. I'm sure there's some good restaurants out there, but there are so many other options here in the city. Korean, for example, is one I really like. But there are some foods that are typically from Krakow. The first one is obviously the Zapiekanki, which you can find on every corner. I actually made it also myself at the Zapiekanki museum. But for today's lunch, we're going here to Square Juda. So you can find one of the only street foods you can find in Krakow. It is typically from here. And it's here. Maczanka po krakowsku. It's basically pulled pork. I would say the grandmother of pulled pork. On a bun. It's the best. I think I'll take the classic for today. So the cut of meat they use is the pork neck. In summer we use it on the grill, Krakowska, but now they're braising it for several hours. A nice juicy tender. Oh yeah, like I said, the grandmother of pulled pork, and you can only find it in Krakow. And there it is, the Maczanka, classic. Meat, pickles, sauce, some stewed onions. This is the thing to get in Krakow. Let's go. Comforting. Yeah, it's amazing, man. I love it. And we're continuing our walk again. That was seriously good lunch for only £8, 9 euros, 34 zlotys. But yeah, we're heading now this direction towards maybe my favorite street here in Kazimierz. I've seen comments online that it looks a bit rough with all the graffiti, but don't really bother with it. This is a street where you're gonna find most tourists. Jozefa runs all the way till there. Some nice restaurants, nice cafes, a lot of options. And we went here into the side street because it's my favorite street here in Krakow, and it's mostly because of the name. If you know Polish, you know what I mean. But over here in the green building is one of my favorite bars, Ometa. I am thinking of doing a craft beer pub crawl because this YouTube channel is not monetized yet, so I can do whatever I want basically. But they have an awesome selection of craft beers here at Ometa. And we continue further to the left here, which is a favorite ending spot for a night out, which is Plac Nowy. As you can see, during the day there's a little flea market here, but at night in the middle, in the Ogalak, that's where everyone buys Zapiekanka. I've seen every travel vlogger go there to buy Zapiekanka. However, I'm not doing it because, as you have seen, I had a big lunch. But yeah, basically almost every window has Zapiekanka on offer. And then at the end of the square, we're just going left here. And as the tour guide behind me said it, that square used to be the kosher poultry area, so the butchery. So now where at night it's full of drunk tourists, there used to be full of chicken. Well yeah, this is what I mean with the graffiti. I don't really mind it. On Jozefa Street there are some nice murals scattered in between. But yeah, mostly it's just tags of people. And on this crossing we're turning a left because we're going to the Basilica. As you can hear, it's 12 o'clock. So this is the Basilica Corpus Christi, or Bożego Ciała. Now I cannot show you inside because currently it's 12 o'clock, there's a service starting. But apparently during the deluge, King Carl Gustaf from Sweden made his military base here because he loved the interior so much. And also he didn't burn it down as what Protestants used to do back in the days. And we're going out through the side entrance and then to the right. And we're going over there to those trees there. Because here is Plac Wolnica. And this used to be the official city square of the city of Kazimierz before it joined with Krakow. Over there is the city hall. And apparently back in those days this city square was just as big as the one in the Krakow city center. And I don't know if you can see it, but on the side of the city hall there's still the city seal of Kazimierz. And from here we're going to continue across the street in this alley, following those cars probably. And hopefully from this video you can see you can just walk this. You don't need those cars, you don't have to spend money on those things. They will not really tell you anything new that you cannot find. Like every stop we made, there's a lot of information signs. And after a quick right and left, we are here, which is again a massive cathedral. In this case, the Church of Catherine of Alexandria. But again, that's probably a service now because of 12 o'clock. So we're going through this tunnel because at the end there's another church. It's the Church of Saint Michael the Archangel, which is Poland's oldest true crime story. Because back in 1079, King Bolesław the Bold got in a massive argument with the bishop here, Bishop Stanislaus, and in his rage he stormed into the church, killed the bishop, chopped him up into pieces. The king got exiled because of this, and the bishop got sainthood. But after that, ever since, when there was a king crowned in the Wawel Castle, they had to do a pilgrimage basically here to repent for the sins of their predecessor. The other name for this place is also Skałka. Oh yeah, like I mentioned, there's info signs everywhere. And we will exit through here and then hit the river and getting close to our final destination. And to the left here is the river. And here's the Vistula River, the longest river in Poland, running all the way from the Beskids that way to Warsaw, the sea, that direction. And over there is our final destination, Wawel Castle. I can actually already see that they're working on the tower, which is kind of annoying because I was not expecting that. And while we're walking here next to the river, depending on when you're watching this video, if you're planning to come to Krakow next month, make sure it's around the 12th to 16th August, because then there's the Pierogi Festival on the little square, which is the main church on the Rynek. Behind it there's a little square, and that is where you can find the best pierogis of Poland, because on Sunday there's the final where they pick the winner. I personally like it because it's not only traditional ones but also new ones with new flavors. And here we are, final destination, Wawel Castle. I'm not going inside because, as you can see, there's a lot of people coming. It is a Sunday after all, and I need to go in that direction anyways. Well, inside the castle there are a lot of things to see. There's even kings being buried there. And of course there is the Wawel Dragon. Behind it you can find the cave where it used to live. Well, yeah, that's the end of our tour of Krakow, Kazimierz, basically. I hope you like this walking tour. Next time we'll do the other part when I'm in Krakow again, from probably the main train station to again here Wawel Castle, and then we'll try to go inside. Thanks for watching. We'll see each other in the next city in Poland. So till then, you know what to do. Like, subscribe. Bye bye.